Sadly, 2020 has already proven to be a year in which we've lost some big names, even in just a few short months. From founding fathers of comedy and veteran character actors to up-and-coming stars that never got a chance to shine, here are the actors we've lost in 2020 so far. Hollywood legend Kirk Douglas, the patriarch of the Douglas dynasty, died in February 2020 at the age of 103. His son, actor Michael Douglas, confirmed his death via Instagram. He wrote, "He leaves a legacy in film that will endure for generations to come." Born in New York as Isser Danielovich, Douglas made his Broadway debut in 1941. His career was interrupted by the outbreak of World War II, but Douglas returned to the stage after being honorably discharged from the Navy in 1944, and before long, Hollywood beckoned. 1949's Champion made him a star and gave him his first of 3 Oscar nominations, but his most famous picture is Stanley Kubrick's Spartacus. Douglas famously spoke out in favor of blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, insisting he was properly credited for his work on Spartacus. Douglas later wrote in his autobiography, "I think one of the most important things in my career was the breaking of the blacklist." In the same book, Douglas also discussed his regrets. After starring in a stage adaptation of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, he tried for years to get a film version made. By the time it happened, Douglas was too old to reprise the role of McMurphy, which went to Jack Nicholson. Douglas wrote, "I made more money from that film than any I acted in, and I would gladly give back every cent if I could have played that role." Terry Jones, best known for his work with the groundbreaking British comedy troupe Monty Python, passed away in January 2020 after battling a rare form of dementia. In a statement, his family said, "We have all lost a kind, funny, warm, creative, and truly loving man whose uncompromising individuality, relentless intellect, and extraordinary humor have given pleasure to countless millions across 6 decades." Jones was 77 years old. Early in his career, he had been instrumental in developing the unique stream of consciousness style that made Monty Python's Flying Circus the game-changing TV show it was, and he would later go on to spearhead 3 of the group's original feature films. 1975's Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which he co-directed with Terry Gilliam, is regularly ranked among the funniest films ever made. Jones then went on to helm 1979's Monty Python's Life of Brian, in which he played the titular character's cantankerous mother and delivered the film's most iconic line.
"Now you listen here! He's not the Messiah! He's a very naughty boy! Now go away!"
Finally, Jones directed 1983's Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, the last movie to feature all 6 Pythons. The remaining members of the influential troupe paid tribute to Jones following his passing. Fellow Python Michael Palin said, "He was far more than one of the funniest writer-performers of his generation. He was the complete Renaissance comedian. Writer, director, presenter, historian, brilliant children's author, and the warmest, most wonderful company you could wish to have." Ugandan actress Nikita Waligwa, who starred in the 2016 Disney film Queen of Katwe, died from a brain tumor in February 2020. She was first diagnosed with a tumor in 2016, but thanks to a fundraising effort, was flown to India for treatment and soon got the all clear. A second tumor developed, however, and this time she couldn't be saved. She was just 15 years old. Queen of Katwe is a biographical drama about real-life chess player Fiona Mutesi, a poor Ugandan girl who went from the slums of Katwe to the World Chess Olympiads. Waligwa played Mutesi's real-life friend and fellow chess star Gloria Nansobaga, who was shocked when she heard the news. She told the BBC, "I couldn't bear to hear that someone who acted as me in a film had died. I loved her from my heart." Actor David Oyelowo and Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o, who also starred in the movie, both took to Instagram to pay tribute to the teen. Nyong'o wrote, "She played Gloria with such vibrancy. In her real life, she had the enormous challenge of battling brain cancer. My thoughts and prayers are with her family and community as they come to terms with having to say goodbye so soon." Oyelowo echoed those sentiments, calling Waligwa's battle humbling to witness in his own post. He said, "She was a ball of light. Her light will live on." Both a brilliant character actor and star of numerous Oscar-winning movies, actor Jack Kehoe passed away in January 2020. The Queens-born actor lived in the Hollywood Hills, but had been out of the spotlight since suffering a stroke in 2015. He was 85. Kehoe joined the Army straight out of high school and served 3 years with the 101st Airborne Division. He trained in the performance arts under Stella Adler after leaving the military and soon hit the stage, putting in an acclaimed performance in the Eugene O'Neill play A Moon for the Misbegotten. This opened the door to Hollywood, where Kehoe would establish himself as a capable foil for some of the biggest stars of the time, and where he would star alongside some of the world's most iconic actors, too. Sally Kirkland, who co-starred with Kehoe in The Sting, paid tribute to her late colleague on Twitter. She wrote, "He was a wonderful character actor who was unforgettable in Serpico and The Untouchables. God bless his beautiful soul, journey home to the heart of God." Star of a number of different TV shows and low-budget movies, Australian actor Hains passed away in January 2020 at the age of 27. His mother confirmed his death in an Instagram post, writing, "He had the world at his feet, but sadly he struggled with mental illness and addiction. A brilliant spark shone bright too short a time. I will miss you, Harry, every day of my life." The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner Coroner's Office announced in early March 2020 that Hains died of fentanyl intoxication. Hains was gender fluid and spoke openly about his desire to become the first gender fluid icon. When he sat down with Close Up Culture to talk about his musical project Anti-Boy, he said he'd always disliked the idea of labels. Hains explained, "It's like feeling like something is wrong with you because society has told you that you need to behave and act a certain way, and you see a professional and they diagnose you with a mental disorder." He continued, "I would rather look at the environment and see what is causing these feelings of negativity and discomfort to solve the issue, rather than put a Band-Aid over it." New York actor Stan Kirsch, best known for playing Richie Ryan in the Highlander television series and for a memorable appearance on the iconic sitcom Friends, tragically took his own life in January 2020. He was 51. After sharing the news on Facebook, Kirsch's wife Kristen Green wrote, "I want to thank everyone for the outpouring of love and support." Kirsch began his TV career with bit parts on a variety of shows throughout the early 90s. He made his debut as streetwise punk-turned-immortal Richard H. Ryan in 1992, and would go on to appear in over 100 episodes of Highlander over the next 6 years. An official statement on the show's Facebook page read, "Without Stan Kirsch, Highlander the series would have been far less. He brought a sense of humor, kindness, and youthful enthusiasm to the character of Richie Ryan." In the middle of his run on Highlander, Kirsch landed a spot on Friends, playing the way too young, still in high school boyfriend of Monica. Kirsch was also a well-known acting coach. Best known for playing Josephine on the CBS sitcom King of Queens, character actor Norma Michaels died in January 2020. Her obituary confirmed that she passed away peacefully at her Palm Springs home. She was 95. Michaels worked on 7 episodes of King of Queens, just one of the many comedies she popped up in over the course of a career that began back in the mid-50s. In later years, she appeared on pretty much every major sitcom or comedy from the 90s and 2000s, with her final TV role being an appearance in the hit cop comedy Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's going so slow. There we go.
Oh, my glasses.
All right, let's go to 5-4.
But Michaels wasn't a one-trick pony. In fact, she had some serious acting chops, too. Paying tribute to Michaels, screenwriter Christopher Kubasik recalled being blown away by her skill when he worked with her on the fantasy drama series The Booth at the End. Kubasik tweeted, "It was so committed and sensitive a performance. I could feel an unexpected energy spread across the crew as everyone got the show. In that moment, I was so grateful to Norma." William Bogert, who is best known for his role as Brandon Brindle in the 80s sci-fi sitcom Small Wonder, died in January 2020. The actor passed away in his home state of New York at the age of 83. Bogert made his debut starring in a 1964 political ad called Confessions of a Republican, in which he delivers a monologue about the dangers of trusting Republican presidential nominee Barry Goldwater. The ad went viral in 2016 when people started to notice eerie similarities between Goldwater and Republican then-candidate Donald Trump. Bogert was a staunch Republican when he filmed the ad, but his loyalties changed over the years, and he reprised the character in a campaign video for Hillary Clinton. Bogert started landing regular TV roles after the ad aired and went on to appear in 28 episodes of Small Wonder, which followed a family of robotics engineers. Bogert was also seen on the big screen, most notably in 1983's War Games, playing Matthew Broderick's father in the Cold War sci-fi classic. Bogert's wife, Erin Oscar, was a puppeteer best known for her work on The Muppet Show. She passed away in 1993. TV and theater actress Marsha Kramer passed away in January 2020. Her death was confirmed by director Jeff Greenberg, who had worked with her on the ABC sitcom Modern Family. He tweeted, "So sad to hear that my longtime friend Marsha Kramer passed away yesterday at the age of 74. She was so delightful in the 14 episodes she shot as Margaret on Modern Family over the last 7 years, but I'll always remember her soaring aloft as Wendy." Greenberg was referring to the 1979 Broadway revival of Peter Pan, in which Kramer played Wendy Darling opposite Sandy Duncan in the title role. She also appeared in a number of other stage and small screen roles over the years, popping up in everything from Dr. Ken to Days of Our Lives. Modern Family was her most notable screen role, but Kramer also had a number of credits on a range of sitcoms, including Malcolm in the Middle and Frasier, on which she played the oft-mentioned, rarely seen radio host Tootie. Brooklyn native John Karlen, best known for his roles in Dark Shadows and Cagney and Lacey, passed away in January 2020. The Dark Shadows News Twitter page confirmed that he died at a hospice in California, having suffered a number of health setbacks over the past decade. A family spokesman later confirmed the cause of death as congestive heart failure. He was 86. Karlen, a Korean War vet, made his acting debut in 1960, replacing the late Rip Torn in a Broadway production of the Tennessee Williams classic Sweet Bird of Youth. 6 years later, he won the part of Willie Lomas, the con artist who unwittingly frees vampire Barnabas Collins in Dark Shadows. Karlen remained a fan favorite when the show ended, attending events and conventions. After winning a Primetime Emmy for his work on Cagney and Lacey in 1987, he told the Chicago Tribune, "I'm 40 pounds heavier and I have a mustache, but people still recognize me." Karlen appeared in 124 episodes of Cagney and Lacey, playing the latter's dependable husband, Harvey. It wasn't the meatiest of roles, but it was one that Karlen relished all the same. He later said, "The secret of Harvey Lacey is that he's liked. Harvey being shuffled into the background doesn't bother me." He reprised the role for 1996's Cagney and Lacey True Convictions, which was his last feature-length performance. Raspy voiced actor Kevin Conway, famed for his explosive performances on the stage and screen, passed away in February 2020. His longtime partner Geraldine Newman told the New York Times that the Harlem native died of a heart attack. He was 77. Conway joined the Navy after graduating from Brooklyn's Bishop Loughlin High School in 1959. When he left the military, he secured a mailroom job at IBM and was actively working his way up the company ladder when he decided he wanted a change of direction. He enrolled in acting classes and began landing stage roles, first in off-Broadway productions and later on Broadway proper. Conway played Dr. Trevis in Bernard Pomerantz's The Elephant Man, a role he reprised for a televised performance of the play. Hollywood saw Conway as a tough guy when he first went west. The New Yorker threw his weight about in the late 70s Sylvester Stallone flicks Fist and Paradise Alley. But as he got older, the offers became more varied. He turned down the chance to play King Theoden in The Lord of the Rings, a decision he came to regret. And sadly, he would never get an opportunity quite like that again. Still, Conway worked steadily as a voice actor and narrator in the last few years of his life. Missouri-born actress Lynn Cohen may have appeared in dozens of big films and TV shows over the course of her career, but she was perhaps best known for her role as the hilariously frank housekeeper Magda in Sex and the City. Cohen passed away in February 2020 at the age of 86. Described by Deadline as a staple in the New York theater community, Cohen earned several awards for her work on the stage. Her film debut came in 1983 when she played a minor part in the mystery drama Without a Trace, but her career on screen wouldn't start to pick up steam until the late 90s. She appeared in 10 feature films between 1996 and 2000 when she made her debut on Sex and the City. Cohen had done TV before, but portraying Cynthia Nixon's Ukrainian maid and nanny on the smash hit HBO show exposed her to whole new levels of fame.
No! Yes?
She reprised the role of Magda in the 2008 Sex and the City movie, as well as its 2010 sequel. Several former Sex and the City cast members took to social media after hearing about Cohen's passing, the leading lady included. Sarah Jessica Parker wrote on an Instagram post, "Beautiful Lynn Cohen, Miranda's dear and necessary Magda, our dear SATC colleague, talent, grace, inspiration, R.I.P." Meanwhile, actor Willie Garson tweeted, "Bless you and Godspeed, our wonderful Magda, for 15 years of episodes and films. Thank you for your friendship and amazing talent." Hawaii-born actress Kellye Nakahara died of cancer in February 2020, surrounded by her loved ones at her home in California. She was 72 years old. Nakahara was best known for her role as Nurse Kelly on the classic Army hospital dramedy MASH. Her sister Nalani Coleman told CNN, "She was a performer and an artist, and she did her artwork to make people happy, which in turn gave her joy. People wanted to be near her. She was genuine in her persona." Nakahara was only supposed to be an extra on MASH, but she had different plans. She once explained, "I put myself in every scene and nobody told me to get out." And that tactic worked perfectly. She ended up featuring in 167 episodes of the Korean War set show, even playing the lead on occasion. Alan Alda, who portrayed Surgeon Hawkeye Pierce, told Fox News, "She was adorable and brilliant in the part, but you couldn't beat what she was as a person, funnier and warmer and kinder than most people I've known." Actress and musician Janae DuBois, best known for playing fashionable divorcee Willona Woods on the 70s sitcom Good Times, passed away in her California home in February 2020. According to her family, she was 74 at the time, although the New York Times reported that public records indicated she may actually have been older. DuBois was born in Philadelphia but moved to New York to pursue a career in acting. She appeared in several Broadway productions and ran her own acting workshop for kids at one stage, but by the 1960s, Hollywood was calling. The ambitious performer was cast in Good Times in 1974, portraying Willona Woods until 1979 and appearing in a total of 133 episodes of the Norman Lear sitcom. During her stint on Good Times, DuBois told Lear that she wanted to explore new avenues, and he suggested that she create a song for the Jeffersons, one of the prolific producers' many shows. The result was Movin' On Up, which, according to the New York Times, became one of the era's most iconic theme songs, as well as an empowering aspirational song for Black Americans. DuBois' daughter, Keisha Gupta Fields, later said, "It provided a lot of Black people with an anthem." The Philly native went on to appear in a handful of feature films in the years that followed, but she was always more celebrated for her TV work. DuBois also won 2 Primetime Emmys for her work on Eddie Murphy and Larry Wilmore's animated series The PJs, in which she voiced the quarrelsome housing project resident Mrs. Avery. Swedish-born actor Max Von Sydow, best known to American audiences for playing Father Merrin in The Exorcist and Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon, passed away in March 2020. He was 90 years old. The imposing European landed on Hollywood's radar after appearing in a string of movies by acclaimed Swedish filmmaker Ingmar Bergman. Von Sydow initially spurned U.S. advances, but when the chance to play Jesus Christ in The Greatest Story Ever Told came his way in 1965, he decided to take his talents stateside. The Exorcist and Flash Gordon further established him in America, though he would go on to be typecast as a suave evildoer in the years that followed. Most notably in 1983's Never Say Never Again, where he played classic Bond villain Blofeld in the Sean Connery flick. Von Sydow stayed active late into his career, appearing in a number of big Hollywood franchises. He portrayed explorer Lor San Tekka in 2015 Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, and later appeared in 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, playing the all-knowing Three-Eyed Raven. Director Edgar Wright led the tributes on Twitter, calling Von Sydow a, quote, iconic presence in cinema for 7 decades. He is survived by his wife Catherine and 4 sons. Sadly, these aren't the only actors who have left us in 2020. Here are some of the other stars who enhanced our lives before leaving us all too soon. John Shrapnel, Esther Scott, Jason Davis, Raphael Coleman. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK, 8255.